We are going somewhere very special today. A little bit of a trip, around an hour or so. First time I'm towing this down the road. Pretty exciting. Let's get going. Hey, hi, sweetie. I seen you on the TV before. That's all Hickory, huh? And that's what you were working on yesterday?
There, here. So all of this used to look just like this as of about 4 or 5 years ago.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
Those ones have been marked and black ones.
Oh, are they?
You can see the bark's real rough.
Yeah.
It's real smooth here.
Yeah.
That's where the cows rub on.
Rubbing on it. Okay, yeah. I was gonna say all of a sudden. It's like a lot of these dead standing oaks get super punky really fast. You know, you start cutting, you think like, it just depends on the species. And I've always been scared to death of all that miles of fence line, all the thousands of feet of fence line, you know? Dang, man. Hi. Oh, I scared you, huh?
Come on. I'll be up here.
Oh, there's that real young one right there. Oh, man, on the ground.
That short I posted today was a little video thing yesterday.
Oh, oh my gosh. Got the little ones. Very cool.
Yes.
Hey, sweetie. Come here. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, you're not blue anymore. That wore off quick.
Yeah, it did.
Hi.
She was blue there for a bit.
Welcome to the Oki Woodsman channel. My name is Joe. This is Mike. We're going to work together today. I'm super excited to be here. I'll let Mike introduce his channel.
Hello, my name is Mike. I run the YouTube channel, The Rusty Garage and Homestead.
So we've been talking online quite a bit. He's been on Brock's channel recently at Rock Hill Farms, and he's been watching my videos. I've been watching his, and he's relatively nearby to me. And so I wanted to get down here real badly to come and meet a fellow, a neighbor essentially. Yeah. And the cool thing is he's actually born and raised in Oklahoma, so he's a real Okie. I'm O-A-K-I-E, and I'll tell you a little bit about that here in a moment, but he's an actual Okie. So I just wanted to kind of have him share a little bit, because you were born and raised here, right?
Yep. I'm living on the property that I grew up on. I'm the 3rd generation on this property. My kids are the 4th generation on this property. We just have a little farm, if you will. We got cows and chickens, and we do firewood and garden, things like that, tractor work.
Mike has way more experience on all this stuff than I do. I basically am a new-ish type homesteader. I'm from the suburbs, and so all this is new. So I value somebody like his experience far exceeds mine. He has way more experience in pretty much every regard. He's split more wood than me. He's run chainsaws more than me, and he's been around animals. I'm a little scared of cows. So he's got all that down. I mean, he knows how to run equipment, and so I'm just super excited to be here. I wanted to mention I'm not an actual Okie. That's why my name is O-A-K-I-E, because it's kind of a play on words with oak trees, and the fact that I'm actually from Southern California. I've been gone for quite some time. I've been in Oklahoma. All my kids are from here. My wife's family was actually born and raised real near to here, which is pretty amazing. And when my wife and I moved to Oklahoma, we had no clue about any of that. That's pretty neat, and I just wanted to share that part. So today, I've come with some of my equipment because Mike has not run my splitter. I brought my Splitfire 3590 here because he's got some wood to split. He's interested in seeing how mine operates. And then I've also brought a selection of chainsaws that he hasn't seen either or ran. And so I've mentioned on my channel before that in Oklahoma, especially in rural Oklahoma, STIHL has a really strong foothold. Am I?
Yeah.
Wouldn't you say?
That's what we've had on this property since the 60s, is all STIHL equipment for the most part.
And you guys are very happy with them, I'm sure. They've done a good job. Just in this region of the country, no other player was really a big player here between Husqvarna or Jonsered or EFCO, any of those. None of them. You see Echo a little bit here and there, mostly in the homeowner style because Home Depot sells it. And then, of course, in the lawn care industry. I brought a few saws to get his impression. He's going to record with them, do his own stuff on his own channel. I'm going to have a little bit myself. So make sure you check out his channel for some of his own takes and some of his own footage. So let's get started.
Okay, well, we're going to finish bucking up this hickory log behind me. We're going to use the 620 and get it warmed up. This thing screams.
You think? It'll run better here in a little bit.
Will it?
Yeah. That is one darn nice cant hook right there.
It's heavy. That's all screams. That 620 rips through that stuff like it's not even there. Drag her back, sweetie.
Oh.
Why do you?
We keep getting cooled off by the dog. It runs over again to the pond and then comes and sprinkles us. That's hickory too?
Yes.
It stays solid. Hickory does good, huh?
Yes.
I didn't know that. It's not like oak where every time you cut into it, it seems like it's rotten in the core.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Ooh, it wants to run.
They're completely different animals, aren't they?
It is. That one is very responsive.
Yeah.
And you start it and it's ready to go. So
Yeah.
I may be converting here soon. I don't know.
Well, you know what? It's like everything, different tools for different jobs. Yeah. Everything has a different feel. There's a reason why different brands exist.
Yeah.
You know?
It's a pleasure to run so
Yeah.
far. I mean, both saws have been the Echo 620 and the 562 Husky. Great.
Now let's see if it hot starts. That's the other beef that people have with these. Husqvarna's real procedure is to fast idle it.
Really?
But I would appreciate if you just pull it and see if it starts, because that's what I expect. Yeah, it's ready to go. It's ready to go. So I think that was pretty cool watching him.
The speed and the reaction, the quickness of this 562, I'm impressed by. I wasn't figuring it to be as responsive and impressive as it was, but it's a good run saw and it's hungry. It'll sure go through the wood.
Really curious to see what this lifetime STIHL man, just because it's what he's used to. STIHL makes great saws, but every company makes a product that's beneficial in some way or another. That's why there's variation. Making quick work of this treetop here.
This saw's meant for work.
Well, that was really fun. It was actually super cool to watch somebody cut with my saws, because I always watch me cut with my saws. Yes, because I'm a YouTuber. I have watched myself for hours upon end cutting, and it was interesting to watch him cut with the 620, with the 562, and the 545. One of the things I was interested in coming over here, I already have an opinion of all these saws because they're mine, and I have experience running other various saws, but I wanted to get them in the hands of somebody that has never run anything like them, and I wanted to hear what his opinion was about it, because in my opinion they're much different than everything else. Mm-hmm. So what I wanted to ask you about is just an overall opinion about each of the saws.
To me, never running a Husky or an Echo before, the Huskies are like a crotch rocket, essentially. They were real fast off the throttle. They had plenty of power. As long as you seem to keep it up there in that power band up on the upper end, chain sharp, it's gonna go right on through. The Echo, that was my first ported saw. I now want a ported saw because that thing was a screamer as well. I guess I'm trying to find the words. The Huskies just felt different, but I can't quite put my finger on exactly what it was. But now I've run stills for a lot of years. I mean, it wasn't a bad feeling, and still doesn't have a bad feeling, but there's something different about the Husky. I can't quite put my finger on it just yet.
I might add something. So I think my experience has been, I'm curious if this would echo with you. On the Husqvarnas, I feel like they're so smooth, they're like a sewing machine.
Yeah.
Like it's revving like crazy, and the vibration isn't transferred into you the same way. That's what
Yeah.
I feel a lot of the difference is.
Yeah, there isn't hardly any felt vibration. I mean, I almost always wear gloves when I'm using the saw. I didn't today just so I could get a feeling for it, and the vibration wasn't awful.
Yeah.
But
This saw, you feel it a little bit more. They're all spring anti-vibe,
yeah,
but this has a balanced feeling all the way around, in my opinion.
yeah, it does.
And that too. So that was the first time limbing with a 50cc pro level type saw, and it's a Husqvarna on top of it. What do you think in terms of processing treetops with something like that versus what a lot of people do is on a smaller saw or a top handle? Right. What do you think about on that 545?
Honestly, I think sooner than later, I'm probably going to add one of these to my arsenal of wood cutting equipment, because it was nice to run. And I think, you know, yes, I do use a smaller 170 quite often for doing limb stuff. This still felt better than the 170. The 170 I haven't had issues with, and it cuts just fine. That would be a great saw, because I also went into a couple larger limbs over there, and that didn't really seem to phase it either.
Yeah. And you know what, it's so funny. I was looking at my 562 as if it was the 545. It's my own dang saw, and I can't even tell. They're very similar in size.
They are.
They're very similar in size. A lot of people don't think there's a place for the 60cc saw, because this is, especially the 550, is so good.
Yeah.
And then they make the jump to a 572 or a 592.
Yeah.
So a lot of guys have a 550 and a 572 or a 592. Because again, this with a 20-inch bar, now this runs 325. And the reason why that's cool is it's 3/8, just like my Echo. And another brief conversation is if you are going to have saws from different manufacturers, the steel bar, the steel studs are the largest studs out of all three manufacturers. The steel's the largest. Husqvarna has traditionally been one size smaller, and then the Echo's actually slightly smaller on this model. The newer Echo 7310, the larger one, the 70cc saw, has studs that I believe are identical to like the 572s and the 562s and the 592s and all that. So what's cool is you can actually, this Echo is wearing a Husqvarna bar with an adapter.
Okay.
So I try to keep all my stuff, I like 050 chain, and I try to, if in hindsight, I would have done all steel bars and then converted them appropriately. Okay. So that way I don't have to have Echo bars, Husqvarna, because I want to be able to swap them around.
So that was a question I guess I was fixing to ask. I knew there was a difference there, but not messing with any of these before, I didn't know what it was. But so you can run a steel bar on Husky, on Echo, on all of it with the right adapter.
With adapters.
Okay.
This right here has...
You can't run these on steel.
Correct, because then you'd have to grind them larger.
Okay.
That's the cool thing is with a steel bar, generally speaking, now I think there's some exceptions on some of the steel light bars on some of the larger Huskies. Yeah. They have to like lengthen the slot. There's a lot of information on that online, but everything else lines up totally fine. And so the beautiful thing is it's really easy to adapt. I never intended on adding a bunch of steels to my collection because I have experience with them before, and I just kind of liked the Husqvarna and the Echo stuff. However, that was short-sighted because I do want more steels. After running Brock's 500, I want a 500. And so steel light bars is where I'd like to spend money at if I'm going to go ahead and spend money on bars.
Yeah. All the looking at different bars and stuff, because I run steel bars, I run Oregon bars. The steel bars, to me, are probably some of the best bars that they make 4 chainsaws.
I think you know, they're a little bit pricier, but I've heard that the only way you can improve on steel bars is with the cannons, and those are even more pricey. And I feel like the steel bars really, those are the kinds of bars, like, because I've had the cheap Chinese ones, and they just don't last.
Yeah.
They don't. Now you're running. This is steel chain on here,
Okay.
full chisel. That is Duke's chain, and that's Duke's chain. So that's cheap $10 chains.
Did just fine.
I hand filed, and also I did hand file, and then I also used Easy Do on them as well. So the 562's been hand filed. This has been Easy Dude. This has been Easy Dude, and then my 460's been Easy Dude. Because I got tired. I was filing late last night. I was like, I'm not hand filing all these.
I don't blame you. I don't know how you do it. I don't hand file. I don't easy do any of mine. Anyways, they get all put on a bench grinder.
The chips look good.
They do.
They look
Everything
good.
looked good. While I was cutting, I kept looking at the chips. Everything, because I was worried about dulling something on some of this, especially like the inside of this is just full of junk.
I really enjoyed watching him run them. This is not a conversation about what's better. Every product has its place. Every product has its strengths. Every product has its weaknesses. Mm-hmm. And I'm just an enthusiast that likes tools that work well.
Yeah.
And that's all I care about. And so if you've been watching my channel, you know that I have been critical of some Husqvarna policies and or things that I've experienced, but it doesn't mean that I don't love the tool. Yeah. The tool's fantastic. This saw right here, I told Mike, once he ran this saw in particular, I told him he'd be ruined. Yeah. Because it's hard to pick up. Any homeowner, in my opinion, it's hard to pick up like a 390 or something. Mm-hmm. Any of those saws after running something like these. The 620's nice, yeah. But these are they're beautiful. And this is I've been enjoying running the heck out of this. This is a fun one too.
It is fun.
And that was, if you're new to the channel, this is for, I'll talk to your camera. The 620 was ported by Super Dave Outdoors on YouTube. He's a growing channel. He's getting close to 1,000 subs, so if you haven't visited him, go ahead and do that. He is an echo mechanic down in Texas.
Check him out. I'll put a link to his channel down in the description box.
He's extremely thorough. He does clean work, and he's growing as a porter. Guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I appreciate all of you being here. I appreciate all the comments that you guys leave, and you guys make this possible. It's really fun coming out here, getting to meet a fellow colleague in the YouTube world. It's a lot of fun, and just had a great time running these saws. We're gonna go run the splitter now, and I'm really curious to see what his feedback is. I think he thinks he's helping me split, but I'm actually gonna have him running the controls. I'll roll logs over and all that, so I want him to run it.
I'm looking forward to it. I've never ran a machine like that. Totally different style from any conventional concept splitter that I've ever ran, and I've never ran one with a log lift, so I'm excited to try this out.
Gonna be cool. All right.